Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Anime Mega Reviews, and today's video is going to be on the Tree of Qliphoth and the upcoming predictions that I'm probably going to make as far as what Asta and company are really going to be up against as these chapters really start to go through the timeline in which Yuki Tabata has set. But first things first, let's recap on what the Tree of Qliphoth has been revealed to be. And I would definitely say the majority of the information that we have received about the Tree of Qliphoth has come from the Black Bull's Captain Nacht. And this is actually some really in-depth information. So if you guys kind of been living under a rock, this is kind of going to be on just a recap of what it truly is. So Nacht has revealed that the Tree of Qliphoth is actually going to be opened up in 7 stages, and the Tree of Qliphoth, along with William's Tree of Yggdrasil magic, is sort of like a gateway that's going to open up into the underworld. And the underworld has, according to Nacht, 7 levels. And this is really important here because with these 7 levels, there are going to be different demons. However, I'm going to be getting into that later on as the video progresses. So the first hint that we really see of the Tree of Qliphoth was from Dante in the earlier chapters of the Black Clover manga, where he pretty much spilled the beans on the plans. However, at the time, we really kind of didn't really know what the Tree of Qliphoth really was and how it was essentially a doorway to the underworld. However, some more questions are going to be kind of, I guess, revealed, or some questions that I have just personally, like for instance, if there is a gateway to the underworld, who made that gateway and how was it locked in the first place? Because I just assume, just from Asta's swords in terms of the Demon Slayer swords, this isn't the first time that the demon world has been opened up to the human race. And this is something that is pretty interesting because Dante has been working on this plan for a long time. But who told him about this plan? Now, we assume it was Lucifero, but we did receive some information in the earlier Black Clover chapters, especially in Black Clover chapter 222, that there have been different ways that demons have entered into the human world in the Black Clover universe, whether it been by rituals or curses. And this was revealed by Dorothy when she was talking to Noel, that there are sort of anomalies that happen when demons make contracts with humans or vice versa. So it's pretty obvious that the Tree of Qliphoth is sort of like the end-all be-all of underworld opening demonic portal plans. And Lucifero is really trying to take advantage of that. Now, this will include the death of William and Yami if the plan definitely does succeed and goes towards the last level. As I said before, there are 7 levels of the Tree of Qliphoth, and this is, again, guys, a recap. And also to kind of clear some things up, because I know some people were kind of confused about the Tree of Qliphoth, and I was as well, because I was really trying to figure out, like, is it just like Yggdrasil from Norse mythology? Are there just like different realms? Can the Tree of Qliphoth only open up, for instance, the demonic world portal? What if it could open up another portal? But as far as what Nacht is saying in this new chapter, apparently, I guess, is just for the underworld. Now, what is this really based off of? Now, I definitely believe that Yuki Tabata is using some inspiration from Dante's Inferno and also some inspiration from the Bible, because in the book of Revelations, there are 7 seals that need to be opened, and there are 7 layers of hell, or the underworld, in the Black Clover universe. So obviously Yuki Tabata is definitely drawing some information from different sources and different books, even religious books, or even some demonology and myths as well, to sort of form this coherent universe altogether. Now, what happens when the Tree of Qliphoth reaches its last level? Well, Lucifero actually gets out, and it's pretty much Armageddon. It sort of reminds me of actually the TV show Supernatural, because like it was kind of like an on-running theme with that show as well. If Lucifer got out, then it would be Armageddon. Now that we kind of have the basic information about the Tree of Qliphoth, how is this going to lead into just different predictions that I might have about the manga series and how far it's going to go on, and in terms of how long this arc will be? For starters, I definitely believe that Black Clover, as long as the manga sales are good and as long as the anime is doing well, it will definitely go on for as long as Naruto. But how can he really stretch all this out? Well, for starters, we first were revealed that there were other demons, because originally we didn't really know what Asta's anti-magic demon really was. Like, was it the only demon? We just didn't know. And then we ran into Zagrid, and Zagrid pretty much had revealed that, yeah, there was a whole world of demons, and they're all extremely powerful. I mean, this is what Zagrid did to our Magic Knights and the powers that he had. And I just assumed that, yeah, he was a high-ranking devil, but compared to Magicula and Xenon's demon and Lucifero, I think that he's really just like small potatoes. So what is our light triad really up against? For starters, Nacht has said that the demons on the upper level are as strong as the Dark Triad. Now, I do want some context with this because I don't think that the demons individually are as strong as the demons that the Dark Triad is currently being possessed by. I don't believe that there's a demon on the upper level that's as strong as Lucifero. I don't believe that there's a demon on the upper level as strong as Magicula. However, I do believe that our heroes will definitely face off with several other Zagrids. And that's pretty incredible just think about because it took literally the old Wizard King, Lit, Yami, and assortment of other Magic Knights just to take down one demon in the form of Zagrid. And can you imagine millions and thousands of other demons? Well, not millions, I think probably thousands of other demons that are just as strong as Zagrid, and they're only on the first level. And that's really scary just to think about, but that's not even the worst part about this whole entire journey that our heroes just have to undertake at the moment. If you look at Zagrid and how powerful he was, it took the combined efforts of several Magic Knights, including the first Wizard King along with Lit, just to defeat him. And I would definitely say that Lit and Lumiere weren't at their full power, but I just assumed that even at half their power, he was stronger than Yami when he was fighting against Dante. And some may disagree with this, but I definitely would not say that Yami defeated Dante. Dante does have a healing factor, and that is a part of his character, and I'm not really going to take that away from him. People have said that Yami has killed Dante 7 times, but at the end of the day, he does have a healing factor, which is why Asta was so important in this fight, because Asta's anti-magic was able to negate the fact that Dante had a strong healing factor that was on the same level as Wolverine. And if you guys are any fans of the Marvel comics, and you know how Wolverine's healing factor truly works, even the Incredible Hulk, they could get inflicted with so much damage and still be able to regenerate their organs, have their head cut off, etc. Anything that you can mention, they can pretty much regenerate from. And this was Dante except times 10. And the only reason why Yami and Asta were able to defeat him was because of Asta's anti-magic ability, which negated his healing factor. So I know that there are some Yami fans in here that say that Yami had defeated Dante 7 times. However, because of Dante's healing factor, that is actually not a true fact. If Yami was able to destroy Dante with his healing factor permanently, then I would say that. But until then, that is where I'm really going to stand on the issue. But yeah, Asta and company definitely have a tall task to undertake at the moment, but they can do it. That is what I really think they're going to be up against, because as they start to go through these levels, they're going to have to defeat these demons one by one. I don't think they're just going to go straight towards Lucifero and defeat Lucifero, because that would be pretty boring and that really wouldn't be a long arc. So I believe that they're going to have to struggle with several of these demons, and will most likely involve the combined effort with several of the Clover Kingdom Magic Knight captains, possibly even Diamond Kingdom and the Heart Kingdom with Gaja and the other Spirit Guardians, because if these demons are as strong as Zagrid, if not stronger, it's going to take a lot of Magic Knights to do it, and Asta cannot do it by himself, and that's a very important factor just to look at in terms of how this arc is going to progress in the future. Now, some of the issues that I could definitely see in this arc, not exactly from a writing perspective, but just with the captains in general. They were completely unprepared when Nacht had came in and used his demonic powers on them, and I'm not saying that he's stronger than the captains, but at the same time, they were clearly blown away by it and not exactly prepared to fight against someone of his caliber at the moment. Now, I do trust in his abilities to prepare the captains, but I'm just having a hard time believing that either one of them could hard counter a demon's powers. Because if we do look at Charlotte, I believe that she is somewhat near arcane, but in terms of Nozel and Flugolion and even Jack showed some promise to be arcane, where he was able to rip through, I believe it was Langris's spatial magic or spectral magic, guys. I'm sorry, I just kind of butchered that word right there, but they do show some promise. But at the same time, I'm really trying to figure out if either one of them can actually do some damage. And also their unpreparedness in terms of just their mindsets as well. They're completely new to all this. They're very ignorant of it. And the only one that seems to really know anything about anything related to demons is Julius and Dorothy. And this is actually something that's pretty interesting right here, is that the captains that kind of had no idea about it, excluding Rel and maybe was actually Dorothy. And Dorothy was the one who isn't exactly surprised by the existence of demons and devil-possessed persons, but the rest of the captains are. And there is something very wrong with that. They're very extremely ignorant to it. And if they go into the Spade Kingdom like this, they're only in for a butt whooping, and it's not going to look good for the Clover Kingdom Magic Knight. So hopefully Gaja and the Spirit Guardians can kind of get them up on game a little bit, because if this is what the Clover Kingdom is going to work with and this is who we're going to trust to defeat the demons, yeah, it's not going to go over too well. But anyway, that does it for me today, guys. Make sure if you're new to smash the subscribe button, just show me some love. Also, comment down below, give me a thumbs up as well, and tell me what you guys thought about this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's try to get me to 500 this week, guys. I would greatly appreciate it and love you guys. Let's keep this thing growing. Let's keep this train moving. Also, let's get the comment section lit and let's discuss it. I hope you guys learned something new about the Tree of Qliphoth and what Yuki Tabata may have used for some inspiration for this great manga series. And as always, make sure you guys stay safe out there, and peace.